Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Litter Media Live, the special edition. I'm your host, Mike Smith. We have some guests today. We'll get to them in just a moment. We're brought to you in this segment by Horizon Connect. We want to welcome Horizon to our sponsorship team today. Going, as the screen shows you, from right to left, Bob Neal of the Ross Soil Water Conservation District. We also have Lydia Dresbach of the Pike Soil and Water Conservation District. And next to me, actually, I guess next to Bob. I'm seeing everything backwards. I'd never make a meteorologist on TV. Right here, we have Danielle Thompson with Brown County Soil and Water Conservation District, and she is also on the State Envirothon Committee, and that's kind of the subject, Envirothon. It's even hard to say. It's that new. So we'll be back to talk with these fine folks right after this from Horizon Connect.
This is Big Chillicothe. Horizon's 100% fiber internet service is coming to your area. Call 740-772-8331 or visit horizonconnects.com/Chillicothe to sign up today.
We welcome you back to this special edition of Litter Media Live. First of all, Bob, tell us a little bit about Envirothon, what that is.
It's, the environment and marathon. So it's an outdoor competition. It's for high school students. It's really an international event. And we're hosting, Pike and Ross Soil and Water are hosting Area 5 in Ohio, which means we're inviting students from 17 counties to compete on April 26th at Tar Hollow. And there's different stations. I'll let Lydia and Danielle go into more about the academics of it, but it is a fun outdoor competition that has the potential to advance to a state competition and even international.
So where you just came from today at Tar Hollow, was that a planning session or
Yes.
the actual competition?
No, that's just a planning session. We had good representatives. There's 17 counties in our area, and it's a pretty diverse group. I mean, we'll be inviting students from as far north as Delaware County, Franklin County, and then the area kind of follows the Scioto River, but goes a little bit west and then southeast. So those 17 counties is who we're expecting students from, and several here in Ross County.
Lydia, what does this look like as far as the various aspects of the competition?
So there'll be 4 stations, one of soils, one of wildlife, one of aquatics, and forestry. Mm-hmm. So students will be tested in all 4 subjects, and they'll rotate stations. So each station will involve a written test, and some of the questions involve specifics from the site, as well as just information that they should know regarding those subjects.
So no particular student has necessarily a specialty. Every student has to go through each stage?
They're in teams, so yes.
Okay.
The teams go through each stage.
I think of In the Know, that old TV show. It seemed like the same person was always answering all the questions.
Everybody had a specialty.
Yeah, so this enables everybody to have to be equally knowledgeable about these various things.
Teams sometimes, depending on advisors and their preferences, they might situate it so a student specializes in a topic, or sometimes it is more of just everybody learns as much as they can to pull together their knowledge.
You probably touched on this, Bob, but my old age, my memory fails me. Is this the first year for this?
No, it's been going on for several years, and with the Area 5 being so large, it's been a while since it's come around to Pike and Ross County's turn to host it.
What's been the participation rate for, let's say, Ross, and then we'll go into Pike and Brown County? What about Ross first?
We're happy to have great participation this year. I've only been with the district the last 5 years, and boy, with everything that's happened in schools and everywhere else, the competition, I think, was actually canceled last year, and we didn't have any local participation in my recent memory. But we're real pleased. We've heard from teams at Huntington, Southeastern, also Zane Trace, and Adina is going to be sending quite a few students at least. So we're happy with the participation among the schools in Ross County.
Lydia, how about Pike?
Yeah, we're happy with participation. So this is actually my first Envirothon since being hired. So I am also new to this. But we are happy with having quite a few teams from Pike County participating as well.
So are all the schools in Pike going to be represented?
No, 2 schools are.
Okay.
As far as I know, that's all I've heard back from so far. We hope to get more involvement. I wanted to kind of get my feet wet and know what we're getting into before I approached all the schools. But
Sure.
just before I went campaigning for it, I wanted to know what was going on.
How about in Brown County, Danielle?
In Brown County this year, we have 2 of 5 school districts represented. In the past, we've had as many as 4. So it varies a little bit with teachers and turnover.
Does this work through, in any way, shape, or form, the vocational schools that are represented by your counties?
Well, a lot of the groups that participate are FFA clubs. So in Ross County, the Pickaway, the PRCTC sort of oversees all the FFA programs. So it comes through that, but we're talking to the advisors at the individual schools.
Yeah. Now, so this is for high school. You don't go down into the junior high levels?
Right, 9 to 12.
Yeah. And I know Bob said we didn't have a competition for that was for the entire region you were speaking of last week. Yeah.
We missed the pandemic year, right? Yeah.
We, in 2020 and 2021, we were able to offer virtual events, but it's certainly difficult to study soils and forestry and aquatics virtually.
One of the unique things about this is the reason we chose Tar Hollow is because of the Pine Lake. So we'll have an aquatic station there. Forestry, of course, you pretty much got your pick. But like for the soils competition, some people might find this interesting. They'll actually dig. How deep is it? 6 foot?
Won't be quite that deep. It might be about 4 and a half.
But they'll dig a pit, and that will reveal the layers of the soil. And students can actually go in and look at the soils and answer questions about that. So, that's the kind of thing, how often can you get a backhoe to dig up, to dig up a pit to look at the stratification of soils. So it's a good opportunity for the students and hopefully fun.
I know that some of the FFA chapters, and Adina, you mentioned them, Bob. I know they've had success in years past with their soil judging. Is that kind of what we're talking about as well? Something comparable to that?
Yeah.
There are some similarities. I think the Envirothon competition is a little more geared towards specifically just the natural resources and conservation. But there are definitely crossover between the two.
When I think of Envirothon, I think of environment, obviously. Is there any element of this that would show the student how, let's say if a pollutant got into the soil, how that would affect not only on the surface, but what goes down?
Certainly. Some of the questions that we ask are very hands-on, where it might be, if we're looking at the soil station, for example, we might be looking at textures. But then other information is just about, permeability of the soil or how erosion might occur on that type of soil. So it kind of covers all of that. So there's a wide diversity of questions that we can ask.
Well, with your question, one of the things that is incorporated into each station is kind of a current events issue, and this year is waste to resources, which kind of addresses part of what you were asking about. So there'll be questions about how to deal with some of those issues incorporated in each of the stations.
Yeah, I know whenever, being in the news for many years, whenever a tanker truck would go off the road or whatever, they would talk about, it didn't seem like that many gallons, but they may be out there for days making sure that all of that is cleaned up so it's not getting farther down into the soils.
Right, absolutely.
I also had some uncles that were farmers, and they would always talk about planting season, which we're kind of getting into that time of year right now. And it might look nice outside, but you're talking about soil temperatures. You have to have that germination and all. Right. Now I'm starting to sound like I know what I'm talking about, and I know nothing. I just drove a tractor and did what they told me to do. But there's so much to this that I guess for our viewers, maybe you're a city dweller. You're not used to the rural areas, being out on the farm, being out in the country. But there's so much more to this than I think people understand. Now, from each of your school districts, you have a little bit of both. You have kids that maybe are from the city or from the town. as well as out in the rural areas. Do the kids that live out in the rural areas, they seem to catch on to this a little bit faster than maybe the city dwellers?
That's an interesting question. I would say maybe they've had more experience with, when we're talking about tree identification or wildlife identification, there are some things that they're going to experience. Maybe that students that are from town or from a city, may not have had the opportunity to.
Right.
But, we have some excellent urban students as well. So.
Yeah, certainly not intending as a put down, but we always assume things about other people that we just don't know. I remember when Ben Hartsock from our area played for the Ohio State Buckeyes, before the season started every year, the entire Ohio State football team would come down to the Hartsock family farm. Well, these kids that grew up in the city, some of them had never seen a real pig or a cow or been in a tractor, and it was like an educational experience. But it was amazing. They said how much they were able to bond over finding out a little bit more about somebody else's walk in life. Now, in Pike County, I'm sure you're looking at pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, especially with some of our students can come from a forestry background, with this being 50% forested, and so that can be helpful, just them growing up around it. But yeah, teachers are putting together the teams, so they'll choose those that want to participate and see how they do.
I'm a city boy.
Yeah.
And I've been amazed to learn really how many career opportunities there are in natural resources. Just the science of farming. The science of farm production touches on what our districts are concerned about, which is preventing soil erosion and maintaining water quality, which ties into those farming issues. But the Envirothon really touches on the forestry and the aquatics and the wildlife, the natural resources, career opportunities that are out there. It happens to be right now there's a lot of movement in the industries. The different federal and state agencies we partner with are seeing a lot of hiring and movement. And I think it's an eye-opener for students just to see what kinds of career opportunities there are, as well as get some hands-on fun and have a day at Tar Hollow.
So again, Bob, when is this event going to take place?
The event is April 26th. That's a Tuesday. It's really not open to the public, but because of the time frame and the logistics, there's a lot of students to get through. But we just wanted to let the community know that there's going to be several high school students coming from all over the area, and Pike County and Ross County, and our friends at Tar Hollow State Park are co-hosting this event on the 26th, and we're just happy to be able to talk about that, and good to share it with you and the Facebook audience here.
Well, please let us know how this turns out.
Okay, we will. We'll have plenty of pictures, and we'll definitely report back. Thanks.
Very good. We want to thank our guest today, again, Bob Neal from the Ross County Soil Water Conservation District, also Danielle Thompson from Brown County Soil and Water Conservation. She's also on the Ohio Envirothon Committee, and Lydia Dresbach of the Pike Soil Water Conservation District. Our Litter Media Special Edition today has been brought to you by Horizon Connect. I'm Mike Smith.